Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bot Signal. My name, if you don't know me already, is RJ Redden. And entrepreneurs hire me to burn down marketing practices that no longer work for them because most have a lot of trouble getting traction online. You know what I'm saying. So I help build messages that connects people, builds relationships, and closes deals. Bottom line, come join the messenger marketing revolution with me. And hey, we've got Marsha, we've got Lindsay. It's officially a party now. We may proceed. Hello, Ed. Good to see you. Chris Ann, love to see you too. It's going to be a great day today. So, want to talk today about a topic that I hear a lot of people, a lot of clients talking about, and just a lot of people in general. And I know that here's a problem. There's so much information on the internet. And when people finally decide to shell out the money for a class or a coach or a program or a course or anything, they often have that thing where they get so busy that they can't even participate. And that's troubles. That's troubles for us because that's one of the main ways that I'm, for me, just for myself, I'm an entrepreneur and want word to get out about my classes. Well, if nobody ever finishes them, then, word is not going to get around. So I care about, and I know that you care about this too. If somebody signs up for a program of mine, I want them to finish it. I want them finishing it feeling like $1,000,000. Not only is that basically when somebody pays me, that's what I think that they are paying for. So that's just the contract, right? The social contract. But I also create a raving fan then. When courses and programs and all that kind of stuff just sit on the shelf, it's always a double disappointment for me. I always think that, is there some way I've failed? I want to give all of the people who take my stuff a high touch experience. What does that mean? It means that when you sign up to take a course or a program or anything with me, I want to make sure that you get the information. I consider it a personal challenge if somebody doesn't understand something to find a way to explain what's going on. I want to give everybody a high-touch experience because I think that that's what a lot of courses are missing. But I don't want to be chained to my computer 16 hours a day. I don't want to be standing in a grocery line texting somebody. I want to give people a high-touch experience without sacrificing every hour of the day checking in on people, making sure that they're okay. So I've told this story a lot, but I want to talk today about accountability bots, goal-setting bots. I want to talk about those because I think they're of particular importance, and I also want to mention just a couple of things that make your standard accountability check-in supercharged and awesome and make people really feel like you care. So, that's our topic today, my friends. If you have any questions about bots, do drop them into the comments. I see those right here, and I keep track of your questions. So, if you have any questions, drop them in. If you have any questions about accountability bots, or if you have something to share about an experience with one, toss that into the comments. I'll be right here. Also, Spinning Dragon's watching with us today. Spinning Dragon is my chatbot, and if you want to get reminders for these shows, type the word live. Just do that. Spinning Dragon will take correct care of you. So, here we go. Accountability bots. The reason for these is, as I was talking about, it is making sure you get through the class, making sure you get through the mastermind, making sure that you attend. Everybody signs up and lays down their cold hard cash with good intentions, including me. I've done this. I've bought classes fully intending to spend 5 hours a week for the next 6 weeks or whatever it is to get through that material and to know what I need to know on the other end. It takes me a long time to buy something, by the way. I gotta look it over, make sure everything's legit, make sure that I'm not, being taken for a ride. And I know that many of you are the same way. So when I finally buy that thing, I'm committing inside. I'm committing. But here's what happens. Here's what happens to all our clients all the time. Life happens to all of our clients all the time. And sometimes they're able to, roll with the punches and figure out what they need to figure out to keep going. But a lot of times people will just drop off. Chris Ann says, definitely interested. I'm part of an exercise 2-3 times a week. And I think this would be a great avenue to explore. Or you're part of an exercise class 2-3 times a week. Over exercise classes especially. And I know that, I've got a friend who has, does a lot of, exercise related stuff. Purple Penguin Fitness, Jen Vasquez, if you don't know her. And she's got a whole fabulous thing, that I know is on her website right now. How long has it been since I've been there? Quite a while, actually. Because we tend to do what's in front of our face. We tend to get distracted with things that aren't in front of our face. Hey, Brenda, good to see you. Glad you're here today. Talking about accountability bots and courses and classes and fitness programs and masterminds and all those things that we sign up to do, but we don't get done. Why don't we get it done? This is a question that I have thought about long and hard. Why is it that I sign up, I pay some money with the best of intentions, but I end up surfing Facebook for a half an hour when I have a free moment, not opening up that website and getting into that exercise program? Why is it that we do that? Because it's right in front of our face, that's why. Because somebody has slid into our path and shown us a shiny thing, and we have gone, okay, well, a few minutes on that won't hurt. Besides, I need a break. Popular thing I say to myself. Don't know if you have the same problem. Anyway, so I need a break. I'm going to look at this little story for a second. I'm going to watch this video for a second. Meanwhile, there are videos that I have paid good money to watch and that will teach me something actually about my life sitting somewhere else that I'm not watching. So what am I getting at with all of this? Of course, hey, Aaron Strayer, good to see you. Say what? You're reading my mind. Oh, I know, Chris Ann. I know. So the reason that we're doing that stuff, the reason that we're, going down a rabbit hole on Facebook, the reason why we're getting distracted with things that are useless instead of taking advantage of things that are useful and we've probably already paid for, is because Facebook's sitting in our path. So much of marketing is not about how do I convince a total stranger to pay money to take my course or attend my webinar or whatever it is. It's not about that. So much of marketing is just figuring out where people are gathering, where the eyeballs are, and getting in the path so that people see us, so that people are engaged with us long enough to want to engage with us some more. So Messenger bots is about getting in people's path. Messenger bots is about placing yourself somewhere along your client journey where their eyeballs are. And the thing about Messenger is that is where the eyeballs already are. People are already into that app. People already open that thing multiple times a day. We don't have to teach them where to go. We don't have to point to them where to go. We don't have to send them 1,000 emails to say, hey, go to Facebook Messenger. Darlings, they're already in. That's why the open rate is so high, is because people can't stand to see a message from anybody dark, in that dark bold print that says you haven't read this yet. And catch up on the comments. I say that every day, and then boom, it's 3 hours later. Absolutely. I deserve a break. Let's just watch this short video that will add nothing to my life. I've done it 1,000 times. And I think that two, I've also signed up for classes, see if you've done the same, where I do get an email once a week that says, hey, you haven't finished the class yet. I call that the guilt email. I don't like those. I don't like those. Those don't function well for me. It just reminds me that there's one more thing that I haven't done. So how can we turn that experience around? We certainly can with messenger bots. Now, in rare exceptions, there are some cases where I have been in courses, mastermind signature programs where people have sent me emails to make sure that I'm on the right track, and they're actually valuable and not guilt-inducing. This is a rare occasion, however. Most people don't do that with their classes. Most people don't have multiple attempts to, figure out what's going on and get in touch with you and make sure that you're okay. Most of the time, people will just rely on whatever the system sends. And even with folks that send, some attempts to get a hold of you, attempts to see, how far you've gotten in the class, all that kind of stuff. Even with that, it's still email. It's still, it's still an email that may or may not reach an inbox that anybody ever reads. That's important to know. It's important to know. I have like 16 email addresses. They all go into one email box. But there are many, many junk email addresses out there that people give because they're tired of the overwhelm. They want to get rid of looking at 1,000 emails a day. So even stuff that is good and that is concerned with you and cares about your experience, if it's sent in email, most of the time that stuff doesn't get opened. So what do we do, obviously? For me, adding some accountability into the messenger bot in order to create a relationship, in order to let people know I care about whether they finish the class or not, to let people know I'm there if they need support. This is the kind of stuff that, most people don't think about this when they're thinking about bots. Most people think about, I think 90% of people think about, let's get more eyeballs on our stuff. Let's get new and strange eyeballs on our stuff. Let's get out to more people, increase the tribe, increase the momentum in business, do all of those things, which are wonderful things. But for me, a lot of the power of how people feel after they hire me has to do with these accountability bots, these check-ins, these, you've been in the program this much time. I see you've completed this much. How you doing? Do you need any help? Or simple goal setting, right? Flying in on Monday. What are you going to do this week? What's really important to you this week? Let's schedule that time in. Contacting on Wednesday. How you doing with that thing? Do you need support? Contacting them on Friday. How did you do with that thing? What are we going to do next week to make it better? It's simple stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated. But it does wonders because it helps remind people where their eyeballs are already at with a message and an offer of support. Now, you don't always have to do the offer of support. You don't always have to say, hey, if you're having problems, answer me back right here and we'll take care of it. You don't have to do that. If your schedule is set up to where that would be impossible, don't do that to yourself. Lead them to a Facebook group where they can get support. Lead them to the section. There's most of the class platforms out there right now have that section where you can ask questions. You can lead them there too. You can say something like, hey, if you have a question, the person, a couple of screens over might have that question too. Please ask this in our forum. You can redirect. But still that reaching out, that saying, hey, can I offer you some extra support? Because what you're dealing with now, and I was an adjunct professor for about 3 years up at the local university, and my class studied different ways on how to teach people technology, how to teach small business owners, mom and pop flower shops, how to teach people how, what's the right technology they could use, and teach people how to implement it and keep going on it, because business without technology these days is almost not business. So taught that class and had several students fall way behind. Like, even in the first 3 weeks, it would be like, wow, what's going on? In that forum, there wasn't really any mechanism to, say, hey, how you doing? Can I offer some support? There was only, I wait to see him in class and then offer that support, just verbally. But just somebody knowing that you're there, just somebody knowing that, you know what, somebody cares whether I show up or not. It'll increase the rate of show up on your mastermind calls, on your group coaching calls, on all of those kinds of calls. If somebody knows, if somebody knows whether you're supposed to show up or not, if somebody cares. Here's another thing that you can do. This is something I've been doing over in Jane Power's challenge. I'm writing her bot, Empower Bot. It's awesome. It's a great bot. And what we're doing over there is we're just taking questions. There's a couple of Zoom sessions this week on something that she was teaching last week. And we're taking questions through the bot so that she can have some time before the call to sort out the questions, figure out which ones are being asked the most, and prioritize what questions to answer. People are throwing in here. We've done this. This will be our second time today. They've thrown in a total of 70 questions through the bot. And because we did it through a bot and we didn't do it right there live, we'll just answer as we go. We're able to prioritize, get the right questions, get the questions that'll answer the questions that will help the most people first. Can't do that live when you're taking them one by one. And people also have time to think. If you're offering some sort of a session, some sort of a group, office hours, a group call, something that's going to happen that night, push out a message during the day to all of the people that have signed up that says, hey, have office hours tonight. It's at this time to this time. Absolutely love to talk to all of you. Please, if you have a question that you want answered during that time so that I can better prepare, toss it in right now, and I'll get to it during office hours. Thanks so much. And by the way, here's your RSVP button if you're coming. Because another thing that bothers small business owners is doing all this stuff to prepare to have a call and nobody shows up. I've had that happen many, many times myself. It is not, it's something that we deal with. And so if you're able to offer them some support through the bot and then offer them that opportunity to RSVP, not everybody who RSVPs is going to show up. About 75% of your RSVPs will show up, but you get to plan. You get to take that otherwise open office hours where you're just kind of sitting, waiting for people, maybe looking at Facebook in the background while people show up. You're able to take that hour and a half and craft it toward exactly what they need instead of just react to everything. The difference in how much people learn from those two situations, with the one where you're just reacting to everything and trying to get all the questions answers and, not able to really put it all into structure because it's all on the fly, or taking all of the questions that you could beforehand, getting RSVPs, knowing who's going to be there, being able to see, these people have, made it this far through, and being able to structure that answer so that it's of the most value. That's the session I want to attend. And that's the session that keeps them coming back. So really, all that you've added, my friend, all that you've added is just this little component that says, hey, sessions tonight at this time. Can I take your questions? And here's your RSVP button. Love you. See you later. So all you've added, but you have changed the course. You've changed it entirely. You've changed it now into a structured thing that's going to give them the most value you can deliver in an hour and a half. And that's going to keep people coming back for more. So those are, I mean, that's a couple of ways that you can tweak that accountability stuff. Now, not everybody's going to, want to take questions beforehand. Not everybody's going to want to offer one-on-one support right there. Different people structure their programs differently. There's some coaches I know that if you sign up for a program, you're their VIP. And just whenever you have something going on, somebody is ready to take a question and get you the right help. Whether it's the coach themselves, maybe that coach has a team, fantastic. Some coaches just don't want to do that at all. They'd rather bring it all to the live session. That's completely fine. You can simply send out a reminder and still make the process better for your people and deliver them more of a high-touch experience. Let me catch up on the comments, my friends. Very good. I got rid of email altogether for that reason. Oh, I know. I just want to throw mine away too sometimes. Chris Ann says, so true, RJ. We follow what we are truly interested in. Yes. And what we're getting value out of. If I can go to sessions like that and learn something or be able to work through a problem quickly that's been kicking me in the pants for a week, I'm coming back to the next session, darlings. I'm absolutely coming back to the next session. Chris Ann says, that's awesome. I like what I'm hearing. Stacy says, that's just what I was thinking about. Well, fabulous, darling. So there are different ways you can structure this accountability. You can structure it in a way that offers high touch support. You can also, and this, if you hear nothing else, listen to this part, allow them to have a choice. Allow them to say, hey, I can provide accountability. Let's just take Accountability Bot, for example. So this is the bot that I built. It was my first bot. Still is on Facebook. If you want to go hit Accountability Bot up, she's ready. And it's a week-long deal where come in the morning, 3 questions, what 3 things do you want to get done? Pop in at night. What 3 things did you get done? And there's always, when in the morning, when Accountability Bot says, what do you want to get done? There's also a lesson at the end of it, like productivity or, learn Pomodoro or learn meditation or something like that will help productivity. It was a productivity bot at the time. Fantastic. What happened was, the world got a hold of it, and then I decided to become a bot person full-time. That's a different story. This story is that I had several clients who said, can you take Accountability Bot and make it into a 30-day bot? And I'm like, well, yes, you're my client. I want to support you, and if this is helping, then absolutely. So I changed it a little bit, made it into a 30-day bot strictly for clients. And so they would get something in the morning, they'd get another message at night. Okay. So then I had a few of them say, could we get an afternoon reminder too? My friends, it shocked me. It shocked me because, really? You want extra? Because I'm always afraid of bothering people. I don't want to bother you. See what I did there? I don't want to bother people with too many messages. That's one of the things that you got to watch out for when you're designing these bots. I had people say, could you message me more often? 3 times a day. I'm like, okay, darlings, if that's what you want. But what you can do, if you are wanting to get people back to your classes, your masterminds, your signature programs, if you want to deliver them that high touch experience, when they're going through the Accountability Bot the first time, you can give them some choices on how they want everything. Now, what does this do? Yep, it's extra work on your part, darlings. You only have to write this accountability sequence once, but it does add, when you add different options onto things, absolutely, it's going to add another path. It's going to add, more testing. It's going to add more time onto that message run. But here's what you get in return. You get a client who's in charge of making their own choices and feel like they're in charge of their part of the relationship. Because here's the thing, when we're teaching people, when we're leading them through a mastermind, when we're leading them through a signature course, it's never, I'm the teacher, you are the student, listen to me. It's not a college university lecture, right? College and university are the same thing, aren't they? I'm getting off track. Anyway, so it's never a relationship, really, where I'm spouting information and everybody's taking notes and they're going to learn something. For me, I like to design courses that are very interactive, and it's a partnership. And I am responsible to my students for getting them the right information, getting them valuable information, getting that information to them on time, adjusting the message when needed to fit, to engage them and to kind of fit into their realm of understanding. I'm responsible, baby. And they're responsible too. My students are responsible for doing the work that's going to lead to whatever transformation that was promised in the course, right? So it's a partnership. And if you are offering an experience where people can make choices in the bot, so let's just do an example. So you've joined my course, and boom, the accountability bot pops up and says, hey, I'm Spinning Dragon. I'm here to help you through this course. I know that sometimes, folks get stuck. I know sometimes people get bogged down. I know people have questions. And so I'm going to show up every morning and every evening. Or I'm going to show up 3 times a week. Or I'm going to show up 1 time a week. Which would you like? Because then you are offering something that is customized to what they want. That's the power of it. And that's why I think that it's worth the extra time to say, whenever you're writing a sequence, whether it's an accountability sequence or something else, take the time to say, where can I offer people a choice? Where can I offer them the buffet of, here are all the things that I offer. Which of the things would you like to do? And then hook all that back end stuff up in the background so that someone has the kind of experience that they want to have. That's the way that I think about it. And I think that it's absolutely worth it to put a couple of paths in there. Just like my clients who said, could we have afternoon reminders as well? Hey, I would never have thought of that. But definitely when writing accountability bots now, I say, do you want 2 messages a day? Do you want an added messages in the afternoon? Or maybe you just want 1 message a day in which I check in with you about what happened yesterday or last week or last month, or, arrange the time period how you want. I check in with you about the past and then ask you to set goals for the future. So this can be as little or as often as you like. Your audience is going to vary and their needs are going to vary. But this is something that I've experimented with many times, and it has really opened my eyes to the fact that I can now, when I was facing a class of students that I didn't know, it was hard. It's hard. It's hard to anticipate the needs and how I'm going to meet those needs when I don't know a person at all. When, inside a bot, it's so much easier for me to get to know what people value, what people want. For instance, today I sent out an announcement. I sent it out 10 minutes before I went live. And the announcement said, have you ever had have you ever had clients who set a goal and then, have trouble following through with it or something like that? There were a lot of people that didn't click a thing. There were a lot of people that clicked the yes on that, and then it went through and invited you to the show. That's the end of it that you saw. What I have on my end is a record of people who have trouble with that and probably have courses or masterminds or signature programs out there that could use help figuring out how to integrate bots into those programs. When I have information that has to do with their particular struggle, I'm going to target an announcement to the people that click that button. It's as easy as that. I'm going to target the value to exactly where it needs to go. Let me catch up on the comments. Let's see. Action sessions are the best. You know it, Stacy. Stacy, also an adjunct faculty member, probably in many places in the universe. If I know Stacy, she works that hard. Brenda says, Facebook is my downfall because I belong to a few groups I actively engage in. I know. And those can be so sexy. They really can. And I have to say that one of the pitfalls of working in Messenger all the time is that Facebook in some form is up on one of these three screens all the time. All the time. But when I've sent a Messenger message that says, hey, you're going to join us, right? Here's the Zoom link. Love you. I show up. I remember, I'm supposed to be in this place at this time. Or, oh, that's right, I signed up for this thing. It's going to be a half an hour. I'm going to pop over and do that right now. That when you put it in front of people's eyes and give them an option, Hey, are you interested in this? Hey, do you want to come to this? Hey, you signed up for this. Something like that. Give them an option. That is so much better than hoping that they discover it on their own. Because here's the bottom line with teaching people anything, and this is a course, this is a mastermind, this is a program. Fit it into their bandwidth. Don't force them to adjust to how much information you want to give them. You can do that, but it's a painful process and you'll feel lonely. Adjust to how much bandwidth you know they have and make it super dead easy for them to participate and engage with you. Stephen Healy says, she rocks. I can only hope you meant me. Thank you, sir. All right. Chris Ann says, yes, I'd like knowing in advance the language of choosing other than when the notice pops up, so it triggers the reminder. Oh, absolutely. And that's, that's the key to all of this. Target value. I like that. Teresa says, yes, I have Facebook up all day because I work within its distractions. I know. Well, and I've known that especially well this last couple of weeks because I've got a couple of clients running challenges and I'm keeping an eye on what's happening in the group and keeping an eye on what's happening in the bot and everything else. Something that, and this comes from my old productivity days, but something that really works with that is to absolutely allow yourself to participate in that group at a certain time every day. Give yourself 25 minutes. You know what I mean? Set a timer. And when it's done, get out. That is what I have had to do sometimes when I just absolutely need some focus time. I need to produce something without all of the Facebook distractions. I will shut all of it off and just go to town. I still have to have Messenger up, but I will go to town on the rest of it. So do that for yourself. If you find yourself distracted by social media a lot, well, hello. That's like admission into the human race at this point. You're one of us. It's all good. Happens to everybody. But set that alarm. You'll thank yourself later. So, very good. Do you have questions? Do you have courses, masterminds, programs out there that you have filled with people who have made a good-hearted commitment to, and they're not attending, and you'd love to know how to use a bot to augment their experience and help them re-engage with your, whatever it is that you have, your course, your mastermind, your program. Do you have questions about how to use that? Because I would love to answer them. Even if it's just, a webinar, which we're no longer calling webinars. Just note that in your head. People don't head to those with like excitement. They head to those thinking somebody's going to sell me something. So I renamed mine, but yeah, if you have any questions about that stuff, please lay them down there so I can get there. Not currently, but thinking ahead. Good job, Marcia. Jenna is here. Hello, Jenna. We were just talking about getting people through courses, masterminds, and programs. Jenna and I have created some really cool stuff together that walks people through a training. And walking people through a training is absolutely the same thing. Keeping them engaged. Keeping them, there is this marvelous thing in ManyChat, my friends, and it is called user input is the block that you use, the building block that you use, but it basically allows you to ask an open-ended question and have the user respond however they want. That is a very valuable piece. It's a very valuable piece. Well, you want to design inside Messenger as a conversation, not a one-way conversation. I see a lot of designers make that mistake about just putting in, this is what we want you to know, this is what we want you to know, this is what we want you to know. Hope you got value out of that. Bye. Whew. Talk about a little bit overwhelming. You want to structure it like a conversation. You want to give users a chance to input information. If not an open-ended question, a closed-ended question with a button to push. And you want to space those out so that your person is not just reading and intaking, but they're also putting out some stuff for you. That's what makes it feels like a conversation, and that's what's going to make people stick to your bot. Holla! Having excitement someplace other than the bot, I found very helpful. Oh, absolutely. So, Jenna is also a Facebook group master, and uses her bot with her Facebook group to help encourage and keep her folks that are training with her engaged. So that is a vital tool when used correctly. Absolutely, Jenna. Having other places where a party is going on is good stuff. Because that's, in a bot, the benefit of it is it's a one-on-one conversation. If somebody needs to be vulnerable, they can do it. They have the space. Nobody else is looking but the person that you are talking to. But when that person is celebrating awesomeness, only one person gets to see it. So using the group as a place to celebrate and party and talk about progress is an awesome thing too. Chris Ann says, right now I have ideas and things that are swirling around. Yay, that's my job. Mission accomplished, people. I really like the accountability aspect for those who are interested. I enjoy personal conversation. Absolutely. And when you start a conversation with someone in a bot, it's a great place to start getting to know somebody beyond the basics. So, quick story. Well, maybe it won't be so quick. Anyway, I was on that marketing cruise in January. And I was talking to a guy who's done marketing for 30 years. This guy wears a pirate hat to all of his, wherever he goes, speaking engagements. It's absolutely hilarious. He's fantastic. Anyway, he's talking to me about, okay, how do you decide your ideal client? And I gave him the standard answer of, well, these demographics, you're between this age, and you live here, and your income is here, and you're blah, 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 blah. And he looks at me and he says, okay, very few things are something that is not the result of a choice. So what he was saying is, you can't choose your age. Can't choose, race. Can't choose, there was one more that you couldn't choose. But everything else, where you live, what your degree is in, how much you make, those are largely the result of choices that we've made. And it's not, knowing, okay, well, these people have made these choices. That's fine. But knowing why people have made the choices that they've made, what has influenced them to make the choices that they've made, is the real secret to being able to figure out if that person's a fit for you, or your classes, or your services, or your products, or whatever you have. Where you find that information out is not in the closed-ended questions and all the tagging and all those fabulous features that I talk about all the time. That's where you figure out the basics. But if you really want to figure out where someone is coming from, having that live conversation one-on-one in the bot is vital to being able to figure out where they're coming from. Let's see here. Looking at the comments again. Very good. Let's see. Jenna, that's what I struggle with. People don't engage, and that's why I built my bot. I would love to learn about how you pull this off. Oh, nobody better to talk to than Jenna about that. Jenna says, I feel the group piece works when everyone in the bot is moving towards a seemingly similar overall mission. And yeah, when you've got a class, a training, a mastermind, all of those things, when everybody's moving toward that mission, I've got a 30-day challenge happening right now, keto, first steps to keto. And everybody's moving along in that mission. And when people celebrate with each other in the group, it's social proof to the people that are silent right now that this thing works. And then they're able to, work a little bit and get a little bit of their own transformation. And, and then it's a chain reaction from there. Let's see. What's a bot launch? Oh, great question. Absolutely. A bot launch is, for me, and Jenna's experience may be different. For me, a bot launch is when you say, hey, I've got something really exciting for you going on. These are the benefits that you're going to get from clicking on this link. You're going to get this delivered to you. You're going to get a little bit of accountability delivered to you. These are all of the things that will be delivered to you right in your Messenger inbox. Click here. Don't miss out. Join us now. That is a bot launch from my point of view. There may be other definitions out there, but a lot of times what people will do is they'll go into they're trying to, launch the bot, and now we're on a different topic, everybody. Hang on. But we're talking about bot launches now, but a lot of people will make the mistake of saying, hey, sign up for my messenger bots, and then not saying, these are the direct benefits to you of signing up for this, of getting this delivered in Messenger. I do introduce Spinning Dragon as a chatbot, but I will not say as a lead-in, as a benefit, sign up for my Messenger bot. People see that word bot and they go, so there, I craft language around it and say, listen, if you, and this is what we've done for a couple of the challenges. If you want accountability for these challenges, if you want the recipes delivered to you and the meal plans and the grocery lists every single week right in your Messenger, click here. We're talking about the benefits that they're going to get and then giving them a place to click to get it delivered in Messenger. After they click, I always introduce the chatbot. There's always a little character. With the keto challenge, it's Rowan the robot. It's fabulous. And people know, that it's a bot, but when you are going over, this is what you're going to get out of this. That's really important, to highlight, and not necessarily the fact that it's, and I call it a chat bot too. I don't just say bot because that word has so many different meanings. So I hope that I hope that that was helpful information on how to do a bot launch. Bot launch is when you call everybody in the world's attention to it, and you ask people to join you by clicking. The passive marketing, that's the active marketing, was when you ask. Learn this from Coach Jenny. The passive marketing is when you put the link to your bot in every social profile you have, in all of your email signatures, when you put a widget on your website to come join you in the bot, when you blanket the earth with invitations that people stumble upon. That's also part of a bot launch. And if you have a group like Jenna does, one of the things that is really useful is if you have a pinned post that talks about the benefits of joining the bot and what you're going to get delivered to you in Messenger, and then a link, either a pinned post or in the group description, or both, if you're, a little crazy, where you pin it in the side in the group description and say, hey, are you new around here? I want you to start right here. Boom. If you do a pinned post, it's a little easier to call people's attention to, because if somebody is on a phone, they're not going to see that description in the side ever. I like to put it there for the people who are looking, or maybe have just joined the group. Maybe they've just joined it cold, from seeing something in the side in another group that they were in. I like to put it in the side for them, but for most people, that pinned post, put a GIF in there of an arrow pointing down, or a GIF of some other funny, fabulous thing. But call attention to it. Call attention to a pinned post in a group, and that's a good way to launch it in a group. Very good. So, catching up on the comments. Bot launch. I tried to do that in my group, Teresa says, and I felt like nobody saw it. Very frustrating. Absolutely. That's one of those things you're going to have to grab a bullhorn for. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it really feels like you're having to say things 78 times, and I don't want to bother people. I don't. But we have to deal with people's bandwidth where it is right now, and it's short. So, making a big deal of it is, often going to pay off. So, very good. Jenna says, I make a big deal. Create an event in the group, invite people personally, find others who will join me, and making a big deal about it. Absolutely. Jenna's got some bot fans out there, kids, because she and I work together on hers, and it's a beautiful masterpiece. I will have to say, Jenna was such a great client, and was just contributed so much to the process that people absolutely love that bot now. And so if you do have some other people who love the bot, do exactly as Jenna is suggesting. Have an event, invite people, have people make a big deal over it, and there you go. You'll get more people to join if there's excitement. Above all, whatever you're launching, if it's a bot, if it's a program, if it's a challenge, have some passion behind that. Have some excitement. Show your excitement. Communicate that to us. And that excitement can be viral. That stuff can be. The reason why is because we consume a whole lot these days of information. We're excited about very little of it. Excitement is like blood in the water for a shark, baby. It is like, well, my friend's excited about something. What are they excited about? It's how social media works. It works on excitement. It doesn't work on likes and clicks and phantom accounts and all of the things that can happen. It works on excitement. Okay. Soapbox rant over. Very good. Benefit is a deliverable value. Oh, absolutely. Jenna says, I think outwardly to customers is a little different than if they are people who are on your team or already in a group you've built. Sell the solution, the advantage, and the benefit for sure. Everything RJ said. Teresa says, just added my bot to my website yesterday. Oh, excelente. Chris Ann says, I want to know more about your group. Jenna, I assume she's talking about your group. Chris Ann, could you tell us which group you're talking about in the comments? Jenna's group is awesome. It's just awesome. Very good. What about putting it on Pinterest and Instagram? Yes. I'm on Pinterest, I think. It's not where I want to spend my time. But I do think in my Instagram profile, it's a link to my bot. So absolutely, I cover the earth with it. I cover everywhere I am. It's in my Twitter profile. It's in my LinkedIn somewhere. It certainly is in Facebook. It's everywhere, babies. And Jenna says she has her welcome bot everywhere. Absolutely, you do. Chris Ann says, like the tips for calling attention to pin post with GIF. Yes. Sophia, could a bot be a good way to start a group? It could be a good way to start a group, absolutely. Now, the bot has to, if I were starting a group with a bot, you always want to start a group off with some sort of a party. Some sort of a mechanism, some sort of a draw. Why would you want to be here? Every time people are considering whether to join a group or not, they're thinking, is this going to be a valuable use of my time? Am I going to get something out of reading these posts? If you're starting a group and you're starting the group with a challenge or some party going on, some sort of celebration or a summit even, those types of things are wonderful to start groups with and then have bot support with that. Walk people through, everything that they're going to get. Walk people through, the different things that they can do or the different things that they can learn in your bot. Absolutely. A bot can be a great way to start a group. It does depend on the group. So if you want to throw some details in, Sophia, of what your group is like, or the kind of group that you want to start, we can talk more specifically, but, I'm going to give that one a heck yes. Thumbs to the up. You can start, a bot's a great way to start a group. Chris Ann says, I need faster bandwidth speeds. I know what you mean. And I know it's absolutely crazy, isn't it? The amount of information out there. Jenna says, do you have some examples of open-ended questions you like to use? Absolutely. So let's talk about this specifically in the arena of the accountability stuff. I ask, hey, say it's a midweek check-in. Are you getting what you thought that you would get out of this? And and then I'll actually start with a closed-ended question, yes, no, and then I will give them open-ended questions. So for if I ask somebody, are you getting out of this program what you thought you would get out of it? And if they say yes, I say, fantastic, what's your biggest takeaway? That's the open-ended question. If they say no, I say, hey, let's address this right now. What can I do to support you what can I do to help support you in this experience so that you do get what you want out of it? I would use sexier language. I would shorten that up. I always shorten it up and be more concise in a bot than I am in person. But those are the open-ended questions that I would ask at just a midweek check-in. If you were doing an accountability bot and you were doing the beginning of the week, goal setting, what are the 3 most important things that you can get done in this program this week? And then, here's a little kicker. So that's just an open-ended one. I didn't even give them closed-end answers first. It's just that. Then I ask, why is that thing important to you? Why are those 3 things important to you? For some reason, when you ask that follow-up question, and people actually reflect on why they want to get something done instead of just, I have to get this thing done and I'm reporting myself to someone else because it'll help me. When they write down why it's important to them, there's where people start to connect with their goals. And the fact that you helped them there, the fact that you had a handout going, here we go, let's connect you to your bigger goals right now, that makes a difference to people. They remember that. They remember that kind of help. So those are some examples of some open-ended type questions that I ask. I hope that was helpful. But if it's not, tell me in the comments and we'll get to it. You gotta delight your people. Hey, yes. You gotta delight your people. Please do not bore them. If they're bored, they'll go. Yeah, you might get a whole lot of people in there, but they won't stick around. You've got to provide an experience for them. I often think how uniquely qualified or prepared I was for doing bots just because in undergrad I did a lot of theater. And in theater, you've got somebody sitting in a seat, and they're 30 feet away from the stage, and everything on that stage, if you didn't know this now. Everything on that stage was touched. Everything that you can see, hear, all of that was touched by at least 5 people that you won't ever see. There's a lot of people thinking about exactly in what order you're going to hear this and this and this, exactly what speakers you're going to hear it out of, exactly what light turns on to highlight something in the background that you might not have noticed before. People and people work overtime to do this. Trust me, I was one of those people at one time, to create an experience for people that they won't forget. This is our job. This is our job in the bots. Delight people, creating a great experience for them, creating an experience that they'll click back to, and creating you as an expert and somebody they're seeking out. This is absolutely where we're at with it. Okay, fantastic. Gina's group. Would love to hear more about Gina's group. Jenna. Sorry, God. Why did I call you Gina? That's not your name. Jenna, darling. If you would toss some more in the comments about your group. We've got Chris Ann making a request. Jenna says, I've been thinking about doing some fun stuff on Pinterest. I'm a Pinterest addict. Yes, most women are. That's the statistics anyway. I might be considering doing live soon, so stay tuned. Genevieve Rose. Absolutely, we will stay tuned to that. Very good. Jenna says, with my team, I incentivize with a raffle for completion based on all the tags and follow through being done in our group. Excellent. Yeah. Incentivize people with a raffle. Incentivize people with a super cool drawing or something like that. And here's the deal. I've also worked with people who they'll do that grand prize thing to draw people into more participation, but they will also give away secret prizes. Secret prizes that nobody knew were coming. Boom, I'm going to gift you this because you had the most creative fill in the blank here. Boom. I'm going to gift you this because you were super encouraging with everybody else in that challenge, and I just wanted to say thank you. You can do gifts beyond that main raffle drawing. Surprise and delight them. Give them something, the difference between happiness and joy. I was taught this a long time ago. Happiness is a state of mind. It's beautiful. It's easygoing, free-flowing. We just absolutely love it. Joy is still happy, right? But joy is happy plus the element of surprise. So if you want to surprise and delight your people, give them that happiness, but give them a surprise every once in a while. Do something extra. That's absolutely an engagement. It's in the Engagement Bible. Anyway, and Jenna says, I've thought about doing like best least questions, like what do you like best least about this experience, but fearing the answer will feed my Hilda. For those of you who don't know, Coach Jenny wrote the book on Hilda. I believe I have it right here, kids. I brought it out the other day. I think I've showed it on screen 5 times. It's just coming up lately. Boop! Your inner naysayer. Coach Jenny wrote the book on it. Don't read page 127. Very boring person. Anyway, that's what Jenna is talking about when she's talking about her Hilda. Okay. Jenna says, do you ask the 3 reasons important to you before they go through the accountability or after? I missed that. I do a goal setting. What's your 3 things that you want to get done this week? And then I say, okay, why are those 3 things important to you? So that's the follow-up question after people have put in their goals for the week. Sophia says, I've avoided starting a group because I'm such a short-winded, no-fluff person, and the thought of having to chit-chat on Facebook every day put me off. I understand. But if I did a group with a challenge that has the theme of uncomplicating, simplifying, erasing overwhelm in your life, I wonder if people will be interested in that. I think that people will be interested in that. Who's your target market and how are you talking to them? That's a larger marketing question, obviously, which is not within the scope. Oh, and somehow we've made it to 2 p.m. You guys, I've been rambling so long today. But would people be interested in less overwhelm? Yes. And figuring out how to draw those people into a challenge. I'm currently taking Alina Vincent's class on challenges, and it's serving me well in feeding what's going to be my own challenge in April. So, she has a lot more information on Facebook groups and all of that kind of stuff. I know personally they can work very well in a challenge with bots. If you want more information, Sophia, let's talk about that. Jenna says, yes, it's the overall experiences, secret prizes. Oh, yeah. Jenna says, could you secretly send a broadcast to one person with a surprise prize? Yeah, you could. You can broadcast to just one person in your bot. Or a small group of people. I'm a master of tagging. And so, figuring out how to do that is, that's how you do it basically, is how you identify. But yes, you absolutely can do that. And, people love it. Megan Collier. I think that Megan Collier is here. So very good. People will be interested when you give them the need. Absolutely, they will. Thank you, Jenna. Was a great time. It was a great time, and Megan Collier is indeed here. So now my day's made. Thank you for hanging out with me today. This has been a great time for me, and I'm grateful to spend this time with you. Next week on the Bot Signal, we got cool stuff coming up. We've got a couple of cool interviews coming up. I love to talk about bots, and I will talk about them until I'm blue in the face or someone drags me bodily away from my computer. I love to talk about bots, but we're entrepreneurs, and sometimes we need to fill out some other areas in our lives. So occasionally I will invite people on who fill an area that I don't. Because I love you and I just want you to have a long, happy entrepreneurial life. So with that, my darlings, it has been lovely talking to you, and I will see you in a bot.